Hello everybody, welcome back to some more casting practice action for me. This is going to be a game from the Defense Season 3. It's HWA against M2W. I just wanted to have a look at how the new M2W lineup have been faring, and I haven't had all that much time recently to watch a lot of competitive Dota, so I figured I'd just give this replay a cast and we'll see how it turns out. So I would say daily casting practice, but after the Defense of the Amateur wrapped up, I took a couple of days off in terms of casting, so... Oh, looks like the draft has already completed for this game, so gonna be skipping straight through. So maybe had the draft in a previous game, and now we'll be getting underway. So I'm not gonna get to talk about the draft. A little bit unfortunate, but should still be a good game all the same. And I guess it cuts down on the time a little bit. So everyone's just gonna pick up their heroes. I'll have to wait out these 33 seconds, and then the game will be a go. So Magnus has actually made it through along with the Darkseer. Would have been interesting to see what the bans would have been here in this game, and it should have definitely been a CM mode game. So just looking at the number of heroes that made it through, it must have been maybe a Batrider ban, an Undying ban, and then maybe some more niche heroes in there as well. So just waiting at these last 2 seconds, and then we'll be getting underway with this game. As always, casting practice for me, etc., etc. Should be some good fun. So anyway, over at M2W, we're going to have Dutch Freak playing the Venomancer. We're going to have Cinderin on the Night Stalker, probably heading towards mid. Warlog is going to be on the Magnus. Tulex is going to be on the Gyrocopter, and Matrim is going to be playing the Disruptor. Over on HWA, we've got Elwind playing the TA. We've got Frasty playing the Darkseer. Down on bot, we've got Stansfield playing the Rubik. Yobi is going to be playing the Shadow Demon. And that leaves Gale to play the Luna. So, looking forward to this game. Should be an exciting one. M2W probably favored to win it, but again, in Dota, especially in a best of one, anything can happen. This is just the group stage, I believe, or some sort of placement for the defense. I really should get on top of the tournament format, but it is just best of one. So, already got a sentry ward down. For the Radiant side, I'm not sure if this ward actually blocks the camp, because I feel like you can use this ward to deward. Maybe I'm mistaken here, because you can definitely ward down here and block, and definitely ward over here and block, but I'm not sure if that's within the box. But we'll have to see. As soon as 30 seconds rolls around, we will definitely know, and I'm sure someone can correct me on that if anyone does watch this. So. Anyway, gonna have some wards down. We've got good defensive ward for Warlog, who's gonna be down on this bottom lane as the solo long lane Magnus. Shouldn't be having all that many problems. Zerman Urn is gonna be an invis, so that's gonna be picked up by the Darkseer, and I will just keep an eye on this to see if that spawns. On mid, we've got Cinderin. Cinderin's going to be facing off against the TA, so Night Stalker against the TA. Not the best matchup for the Night Stalker in the world, but looks like Matrim might just be babysitting him for these first few levels, maybe just until he can get his bottle up, and then he can just bottle Crow and spam Void for last hits. And nope, so that doesn't block the camp, so a little bit unfortunate, I guess, for the Darkseer there. And Harassment now heading on mid, so Elwind going to be in a little bit of trouble, but again, Tia on mid, not too many problems for him. Looks like Yobi might actually just try to get an Ancient stack off here to start the game while he hangs out on this mid lane. Might see some Radiant mid lane pulling as well, just to try and help out the TA, especially against this duo lane. So Yobi's going to be able to get that stack off, and now heading down towards mid. He's got the point in disruption already picked up, so now the team going to be able to go to aggressive and mature. He's actually got the Thunderstrike to start. Down on bot, Warlock just trying to interrupt this pull right now, chasing after the courier. Hasn't actually warded off the pull camp, so he's actually happy just to come in here and try and disrupt it a bit. Yobi is actually going to be heading down now, so Warlock maybe needs to be a little bit careful here. It is a full 3 heroes looking for blood down in this bottom lane. Is the disruption to go? Yes, it is going to go, and Rubik's already level 2, so he's got the telekinesis as well, but the skewer through from Warlock, that is such a long range, so Warlock's going to be able to get back to his tower. He's absolutely fine. So Warlock forcing some attention down towards this bottom lane. He's still got 1 ward. Sentry's going to go down, so they will be able to spot that out. So no over insight for MTW. They do still have 2 heroes on mid, so they can send Matrim to camp out the top rune, and then Warlock to camp out the bottom one. So he's actually heading down there right now. They don't want TA to get any rune control at all. She can get her bottle up Now Warlock needing to be careful, doesn't get telekinesis up on the cliff. Gonna spot at the illusion room, but he will get disrupted, so Yobi will probably be able to pick this up. Might be able to block Warlock in with the sheer number of illusions there, but no. In the end, Warlock's gonna be able to retreat up onto the high ground. And HWA doing a good job, stacking up the jungle a little bit, getting these pulls going. Luna getting absolute free farm down in this bottom lane, 15 for 7 right now. Up on top, Tulak's having a little bit of a harder time on this Gyrocopter, with the pulls running from the Venomancer and the Darkseer, just doing what Darkseer does best, being a pain, keeping the lane pushed out, makes it a little bit more difficult to last hit. And Mitchum now up to level 2, looks like he's going to be heading up towards that top lane. Hopefully going to see a point in Glimpse reasonably soon. It does mean that they can get a kill on the Darkseer. 1 and 2 points in the Glimpse means that Surge is not a reliable escape, so... looks like Shadow Demon might be able to get the stack off with this illusion. Yeah, we'll be able to do so, so... Good little play there from Yobi, keeping some scout going as well here with the other rune. Syndran's now got his bottle up, so Matrim doesn't need to be camping him or babysitting him as much on mid anymore, so they can try and kill off the Darkseer up on top. He's got a center down, so there isn't the lane ward. He knows that, feeling reasonably safe, but again, slows. Venomancer are not going to be the best person to go for this gank, but they are going to get the kinetic field down. He hasn't used the surge yet. The Venomous Gale goes there, and they've got the rocket flying through as well. What rank rocket is that? Only level 1. Will he be able to survive? The Venomous Gale actually doing a lot of damage. Will those ticks be enough? Looks like it will be in the end, so going to be the first blood picked up by Dutch Freak there. So good little gank from MTW, well coordinated. Homing Missile plus the Venomous Gale. The rescale on the Venomous Gale, you need to land pretty much every single one since you've only got 2 pretty much from your base mana pool, but it does a lot of damage. And on mid, Syndra doing okay, 17 for 7. Elwyn, 15 for 5, so he's now catching back up. Has his bottle up as well. And 4-minute rune, going to be camped up by Warlock on bot and Matrim up on top, so again, no rune control for this TA. Probably just going to have to bottle crow it up just to stay in this lane. So yeah, going to have boots sent out right now. 4-minute rune is up top, so Syndra's going to go and grab that haste. And that's going to be able to go reasonably aggressive pretty soon. Levels on these supports down on bot. Only level 2 on the Shadow Demon, level 2 on the Rubik. Luna getting some good levels, but that's to be expected. And Warlock only up to level 2, so support's doing a pretty good job of keeping him out of this lane. Doesn't have his Soul Ring or anything like that. Looks like that might be flying in right now, so it's actually just some boots. So getting a few last hits with that Shockwave, but again, he's really just in it for the XP. It's not a smoke gank from NCW right now, but there aren't any wards anyway, so Elwyn in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get those charges up. Syndran is trying to chew through them with a few right clicks, but Elwyn's actually going to be heading down towards the bottom runes. So can these supports get in range? Syndran's got another slow in just a second. He chews through that last refraction charge with one more right click. The support is coming in. They do have a defensive disruption. Warlock is actually going to chop his way through the trees in over the top. Soulcatcher is going to connect on him. Good nuke as well. Syndran now looking for blood. He's still got that haste for a little bit longer, and Yobi looks like he is the first target. Nightstalker's going to get another kill in the back there, and now Luna needs to be extremely careful. There's 4 heroes chasing after her. I don't think there's any TP support to be had. Venomous Gale not quite going to land, but the kinetic field is there. In comes the TP support, but looks like it might just be Stansfield TPing to his death. There's still 4 heroes here. The next TP is cancelled, so Rupert going to be going down as well. Going to throw down the telekinesis, but not sure if he's going to be able to make it out here. Pops off the salve as well. Now the TP support's coming back in. Rupert doing a great job of surviving right now, but Warlock's right on top of him and blocked in by that Venomancer ward, so Dutch Freak going to be able to pick up that kill as well. Frosty is here. Going to pop off the surge. Might be able to kill off Dutch Freak, who has no mana. Syndran coming in as well. Good little juke from Dutch Freak there, and Frosty now slowed down. Warlock doesn't have enough mana for a nuke, so it looks like MTW just going to try and disengage. TA coming in, but everyone else is splitting off to the side, and Syndran is extremely healthy. Now Nighttime just barely popping off, so he's going to get some bonus move speed there. And looks like the clock might be broken, because it's definitely night, and that's showing the day segment, so maybe when they broke down the map in the latest patch, so that you can have custom clocks and custom HUDs, that may have been broken. But anyway, so MTW in the end, they walk away with 5 kills from that very, very long chase. Everyone's going to be able to find the 6-minute urn up on top, so has that bottled away, but MTW are in a great position, and that was without Syndran having Night at all. Tulak's getting some great farm with Frosty being pulled down towards that bottom lane. And overall, MTW just in a fantastic position. Luna's still getting some reasonable farm, but has opted for the early Morbid Mask, so probably going to be looking to stack up those Ancients with the Helm of the Dominator. It's not going to be a drum. or those relatively early game items. Really aiming for the late game right now. And Tulek's house is farm going. He's picked up some phase boots. Does have the Ring of Protection, so might see a Ring of Aquila up on him. And most gyrocopters that we do see do end up opting for a bunch of early game items just to help out their, well, some reasonably cost-effective damage items to help out the damage early on. And Dutch Freak now just camping at the root again. It's only 7 minutes. He's got some mana boots up, in fact. These are some very rich supports over on MTW's side, and HWA just going to be happy to sit back for now. Rune control being denied by Matrim here, puts down a good sentry. Was probably looking for wards, but in the end just going to be able to spot out those traps. And right now we've got Frosty back up on top. He's level 6, heading towards his Soul Ring, but again, forced down towards that bottom lane with the very, very long gank from MTW, so in the end forcing out that attention and still picking up a whole bunch of kills. Warlock's almost got his mana boots up as well, so HWA not looking great for them, but they're down but definitely not out. They've still got all of their towers. It's still very early days for this match, so. And again, Luna is farming better than the Gyrocopter, even with that death. Might just have to check out the net worth. Yeah, so just slightly ahead. That death did set her back just a little bit, but support's now just leeching a little bit of XP. TA is going to pop off that double damage, heading down towards bot. We'll be able to spot out that haste, so it's going to be a DD haste TA. Synderen trying to stop this, but no, Elwin's going to be able to bottle that up and just pop it off there. So Warlock and Synderen not going to be able to find anything. But will TA be able to find anything? DD and a haste should be pretty much a guaranteed kill, but Warlock does have the skewer available, so can just charge all the way back. So in the end, looks like they might just have to settle for the tower. Fortification going to pop. Looks like MTW might be looking to go for a bit of a trade up on top as well. Matrim now heading up that way as well. He's got 2 points up in the Glimpse, so again, Darkseer needing to be reasonably careful. He's got 2 points up in Surge, however, so a little bit more survivability there. The Rocket's going to fly through. Matrim's now looking for him. He's going to be moving around. Does have enough mana for his full combo. Venomous Gale's going to miss. The kinetic field goes down, and the nuke. Tower's going to drop down on Bob, but Frosty, he's going to be taking a fall up on top, and it should be the tier 1 taken as well, but actually it's going to be a hard laner dying on both lanes and the tower going down, so HWA finding a pretty even trade in that regard. Did either of them shop up? So it looks like Magnus, well, he managed to finish up his arcane boots before he died, so not going to be all that worried about the gold. And Darkseer not quite getting to his Soul Ring in time, so just bought up a TP there. Didn't lose too much gold. So still had a little bit of unreliable gold there, but anyway, Luna's going to finish up her home with Dominator, so we're probably going to see these Ancients start to stack up pretty soon. They've already got 3 stacks there, so MCW actually continuing the push up on top, and Darkseer eating another rocket for his troubles. Looks like Stansfield's going to be caught out here. Kinetic Field, going to throw the Telekinesis, but the Venomous Gale will land, throwing down that Fade Bolt as well, just trying to reduce the right click. Good defensive disruption comes in, and the catcher, TP's going to go from Dutch Freak. Is there going to be anything to interrupt this? No, he's going to be fine to make it out, and Synderen comes to babysit, well, comes to escort Matrim out, and they do have a ward down on these Ancients as well, so probably going to be looking to take out the tier 1 reasonably soon, try and deny HWA the control of those Ancients, and much more difficult to control the Radiant Ancients than the Dire, so MTW, a little bit of advantage there, though obviously Radiant do seem to overall have an advantage, sort of, with how the stats have been working out with the recent patch. But anyway, Synderen, he's got a double damage rune bottled up. It is 10 minutes. Well, now it's 10 minutes. Night Stalker hasn't found any action around the map, aside from those early kills, but Synderen just farming up a little bit. He's opted not to go for Darkness within this first night, so looking for a little bit more effectiveness in terms of the ganking, as opposed to a little bit more time to gank. And Matrim looks like he's going to be trying to stack up these Ancients a little bit as well, so Ancient stacking has really dominated the competitive metagame a little bit in recent memory, but Synderen taking a little bit of harassment there. Good little Plague Ward, going to block out the Ancient stack. So good play from Dutch Freak there. Tulex continues to farm on top. We've got Luna continuing to farm, actually in the jungle right now because the lane was pushed out, and everyone just really in farm mode right now. Oh, we can take a little bit of harassment there. He's actually heading towards a Yasha, so a bit of bonus move speed there. Gonna have the Manta Style as well to help him split out of the silence, a little bit more survivability. So it's not going to be a Blink, it's not going to be a Desolator, anything like that. Looks like, yeah, Luna's heading towards a Yasha and then probably a Manta Style as well. So HWA, they're going to have a lot of illusions just to throw at towers for pushes. They've got a lot of targets. I guess it helps a little bit against the skewer. Might drag some illusions. Not sure if it actually drags, if it counts illusions dragged in the hero count, since I know you can grab as many creeps as you want, and it only counts the heroes. But anyway, TA taking a little bit of harassment on this middle lane. Still has those refraction charges up. Yobi just camping out the Ancients right now. They've put down the sentry, so managed to get rid of that sight from MTW. So they continue to stack up. Luna's going to have to clear these out reasonably soon, but they do have some heroes to tank it up. Between the Luna having life. So actually Eclipse is going to pop on bot, but Warlock and Mitchrim immediately going to back off, so Eclipse U is not going to find any kills from that. Yasha now picked up. Both teams playing pretty passively right now. Tulex has actually opted for all those early game items, so Aquila and the Drum of Endurance now moving forward onto Elwyn. Can easily chew through those refraction charges, but it is going to be melded there, and Tulex now in a little bit of trouble. Does have the phase blitz, rocket barrage, now the go, and the call down as well, just trying to get the TA off, but in comes Frasty and 3 other heroes. Tulex is going to be vacuumed back. Telekinesis not comboed perfectly, and looks like Tulex is going to try and TP home, but no, just too much damage there, so Tulex going to be taking a drop down on bot. Tier 1 taking a little bit of harassment, but in comes the Darkseer and the Glimpse back. Well, the Glimpse back, however, but not onto the Darkseer. It's going to be on the Luna, so not sending anyone home there. And on mid, MTW doing a little bit of split pushing, putting some pressure on in multiple lanes right now. Trying to see if they can pick up another Tier 1. Again, they would really like to try and take control of the Radiant Ancients. Farm those up for themselves. They don't really have a lot of ways to clear them aside from the Gyrocopter, who is getting reasonably farmed, but has opted to pick up a magic wand right now. TP's going to head towards mid, and MTW, I think they need to make some action happen. I mean, there aren't the hardest carries in the game on either side, but Luna is an absolute monster late game and still has all of those glaives, points in the glaives to pick up, and once she's got those, can push extremely well, counter pushes fantastically. And MTW, they're just sitting on waiting for the Gyrocopter to farm up, but he's gone for all these early game effective items, but hasn't really been active, all that active around the map. Hopefully going to see some big damage item or something coming out from him reasonably soon. He's going to start running out of inventory space. Going to start running out of inventory space reasonably soon. 14-minute rune's going to spawn. That's going to be the haste up on top. We've got 2 heroes for MTW down on bot, trying to push up a little bit, and Luna just farming away in the jungle right now. So 4 heroes pretty much just camping out mid for HWA. They still haven't lost their tier 2 up on top, so still some reasonable control there. And Warlock level 8, so he's got the reverse polarity. We haven't seen it used yet, and he's actually picked up a blink dagger as well, so this is a really farmed Magnus. He's had reasonable control over this bottom lane for a little bit, especially with the Luna hanging out in the jungle and the supports all camping out on mid. We're going to have another smoke as the go for HWA. They're looking for Tulex, who's pushing forward a little bit, and he's actually moving forward now, feeling reasonably confident, but no. Smoke pops off, the disruption to go. Can they land the catcher? Yes, they will, and they've got the telekinesis as well, so just too much damage there, and even the rocket barrage being soaked up by the illusions, so in the end, Tulek's going to drop one more time. These smoke ganks have connected fantastically. They do own, well, they're actually out of smoke now, so another 3 minutes until that respawns, but Tulek's maybe just pushing a little bit too far. Did have the ward down, so maybe feeling confident in his ability to spot out ganks, but in the end, smoke, well played by HWA, going to be able to pick up that kill, so MTW, their response, pick up the tier 1 down on bot to some more gold in their pockets. So still not that much gold or XP in this game right now. XP a little bit in favor of the Radiant. They have been taking advantage of their jungle. They haven't even farmed up these Ancients just yet, but Luna's now looking to do that. And they're actually just dancing all over the top of one another, so Luna not taking all that much damage, and she's only got 760 HP, so it needs to be reasonably careful. And it's going to be a smoke right now for MTW. They want to invade these Ancients, but Warlock and Mitchrim going to be revealed off there, and Yobi getting the sight as well. Cinder going to pop off the ultimate. They're looking for some kills here, walking right past the Ancients. They're now going to be encircling MTW, but Tulex doing some huge damage, especially with that flat cannon. Has no target cap, so MTW looking to steal up all of this farm right now. HWA looking to defend. Darkseer is going to be forced to TP in. They've still got their reverse polarity on MTW, and the fight right now is for the Ancients. Luna actually trying to steal up a little bit there. Well, telekinesis, kinetic field, sorry, not going to connect. And MTW, they still want to finish off these last few big creeps. It's a lot of gold there, but neither team wanting to engage. The vacuum is on cooldown right now for the Darkseer. Did try to suck someone down the cliff, but in the end, not quite positioned And Stansfield going to eat the rocket there, so MTW buying this a little bit more time, and Elwin goes in aggressively, but he's going to cop a Venomous Gale. There's not going to be any charges. He's silenced up as well. Reverse Polarity by Warlock, not sure what that was on. A little bit unfortunate there, but buyback now by the TA. The wall goes down. Warlock in trouble. He's going to skewer his way out. The call down in as well. Elwin now back into this fight, slowed up a little bit. He still wants to chase. He still wants to fight. Looks like HWA might just try and finish up their Ancients, but no. The glimpse back. Elwin's in big trouble. The Venomous Gale misses again, and the kinetic field not quite timed right, so in the end, MTW looks like they might have to back off. They actually want to keep fighting. Everyone reasonably healthy aside from Matrim and Warlock, and they did force Warlock, and they did force that buyback from the TAs. So in the end, Ancients all cleared out, and a little bit of action. Unfortunate that it's over the Ancients and not. I guess I was going to say not big map objectives, but the Ancients right now, especially when they get stacked up like this, do really count as sort of big objectives. It's so much gold, it's so much farm, and in the end, looks like the Luna may have actually got a few of the bigger creeps and things like that. Has actually, well, is still leading the farm at the moment. Not very close to our next item. I mean, probably going to be finishing up the Manta next. Could opt to pick up some treads reasonably soon, but the Tranquils are still very effective. Synderen going to get slowed down here, but HWA not looking to go on the aggressive, maybe looking to pick up a tier 1. They still have held on to their own. Yobi going to TP in towards mid, so there's 4 heroes sitting on mid right now. Actually, is it all 5? No, we've got Luna still farming way down on bot. So. Tulex, he's going to head up on top, putting on some split pressure, maybe to try and force out some TPs. And MCW looking to defend on this middle lane, but the tier 2 pressure is going to be put on bot as well by the Luna. So who's going to TP back first? Looks like it's going to be Frosty, so Tulex is going to spot that out. And MTW going to be happy with that. And now actually a smoke. It's a little bit of HWA's own medicine there. So in the end, it is going to be the Luna going down. Smoke ain't going to pick her off. So in the end, MTW really finding the better of that last sort of minute. Tulex putting the pressure up on top, forced the TP, and the smoke gang connecting down on bot, but Synderen's going to get telekinesis back. In comes the reverse polarity as well. Was that stolen by Stansfield? Yes, it was. Well done by him, so they're going to be able to pick off Synderen there, and that should put an end to MTW's aggression, at least for a little bit. Going to be able to clean up that rocket there. Ancient still stacked up for MTW. Obviously, Dire Ancients much easier for them to defend than the Radiant Ancients were for HWA. And now we've got Frosty putting some split pressure up on top. So Fortification's going to be popping off. Tulex now heading up there. He's actually opted for a Yasha as well. So looks like we're going to be seeing a couple of Manta styles in this game. Elwin's already finished up his Yasha as well. And for now, both teams just content to farm up a little bit, maybe waiting for the other team to make a mistake, something like that. MTW do still have a smoke. I should just click on it here. Nope. So it looks like both teams do have a smoke, and HWA is smoked up right now, looking for a kill. Tulex needs to be extremely cautious. They can't see anyone on the map. Should suspect that something is up, but no, the Purge is going to go, and the Soul Catcher as well. In comes all the TP support. The call down is thrown as well. Going to hit on everyone. The Eclipse pops off. Tulex getting low, but not killed off just yet. Eclipse doing some big damage, and Yobi is extremely low as well. Luna now killed off Matrim. There's 2 kinetic fields here. Yobi right-click down by Synderen. He's looking for some more, but now going to back off, heading towards the wall, but now thinks better of it. So walking around, and Stansfield has enough for that telekinesis, but in the end, not going to find it. So 2 for 1 the swing right there, but carry and support. And looks like Glimpse going to go backwards. Frosty might be killed off here. The Static Storm is down as well. He's going to be killed off. Synderen's still looking for blood, but Elwin going to force him back with that meld hit. So it's 3 MTW heroes, but Trim now slowed down. Stansfield doesn't have any mana. He's only there for the right click. Doesn't have the mana boots off cooldown for a little bit either, so needing to be extremely careful. But MTW, they're wrapping around from behind, and Dutchford going to connect that Venomous Gale there. Pops off the mech as well, just to help keep Synderen alive, and Elwin now in big trouble. The kinetic field to go one more time. The Thunderstrike is on top, and looks like they might just be able to nuke him down as he tries to hide in Invis. Now going to go for the melt hit, not going to be able to get the double meld off, so Synderen going to be able to survive. He's got 15 stick charges there, and now hiding back in the meld. Can he do this? Synderen maybe try to bait him out of the meld. Regen his health up just a little bit, has switched to int treads to get a little bit more out of that urn, but right now they don't have any invis detection, and HWA are respawning. Elwin going for the meld, doesn't manage to get back into it, however, so he's going to be killed off there. So in the end, Shadow Demon not able to get up there and bail the TA out. So MTW extend their lead out to 8 kills. They're in a good position right now. Luna is still farming well, but got burst down extremely quickly in that last fight, and has actually picked up a Mithril Hammer now, so looks like she might be going back for that BKB, even after picking up that Yasha. So Synderen, it's still night, though it looks like day, and now heading down towards bot, looking for the Luna, and they're not actually going to spot her out. Is farming Ancient, well, is farming those neutrals right now, so will get silenced, slowed down, doesn't have all that much health, only 815, and these right clicks are doing so much damage, but in the end, Luna going to be able to TP home. Synderen will spot out this invis, however, so minor victory for him, but in the end, MTW don't actually have all that many reliable stuns. Gyrocopter's homing missile doesn't really count in terms of interrupting TPs. Disruptor can always use the glimpse, well, Disruptor can use the glimpse, and Magnus has a couple of methods as well, but both teams just sitting back right now. HWA, they've still got a few towers to take. They'd really like to take the tier 1 up on top, and probably the tier 1 on mid, but Synderen gonna pop off that invis. Tier 1 on mid, taking a little bit of damage. It's down to about half HP. HWA, they've got one more smoke picked up on Stansfield, so that's another opportunity for them. Maybe try and find a gank. In terms of sight, HWA a little bit better on mid right now, and MTW actually focusing quite a bit up on top, maybe trying to open up some space for Tulex, and they've now got this Ancient stack to clear out, so Warlock going to tank it for a little bit. Tulex cleaning it out with the Flak Cannon. Just look at that farm go, so maybe going to have to back off now, wait for the Flak Cannon to cool off, but HWA, they're not going to have any opportunity to interrupt this, and Synderen with the invis just keeping tabs on all of the movement from the Radiant Heroes. They're all 5 on mid right now, 24-minute rune, still 30 seconds away, and Frosty not sure what he's going for right now. Synderen just farming up. Dutch Freak actually opting for a very early Vlad's right now, so they might just be going for a push, maybe go for the Roshan, use Synderen to tank. He's actually picked up a BKB, so doing fairly well for himself, and with those Ancients cleaned up, Gyrocopter suddenly very, very far ahead of the Luna, so Luna might have something on the courier flying out. That could be the story. No, not quite, but gonna keep an eye on Frosty up on top. Can he TP home? Again, same story. The silence to go, just right-clicking for now. Uses the Void, but the silence comes in as well. Frosty looks like he's gonna be dropping too quickly to try and TP out. Could have popped the mech, might have survived, but the Disruptor came in and had the glimpse. It is a maxed out glimpse as well, so range, not a problem there. So in the end, in the end, we're going to see the Darkseer drop. Tulex heading in towards mid now. He's got quite a bit of gold picked up as well. Could almost finish up the Manta if he wanted. Could pick up the Ultimate Orb. And how is his farm going? Almost up to 2k gold. Supports on both sides reasonably poor. Stansfield has a Bracer and some Mana Boots picked up. Dutch Freak, again, we saw him with the Vlads and the mech, so that is one rich Venomancer. And Warlock, he's got all that he needs. He's actually heading towards a BKB right now. Won't help him against the Rubik stealing the reverse polarity, but if he doesn't get disabled, it should be fairly easy for him to get off and empower a Shockwave or a Skewer after he casts it. So TP is actually going to go up top from Frosty, so there's not going to be the potential to defend from this Roshan right now, and MTW should be able to pick it up pretty easily. It looks like they might just try and trade for this tier 1 up on top. That's what the Darkseer is looking for, and nobody from HWA moving towards the pit to try and stop this. They don't actually have sight, so Synderen going to be able to pick that up, and TP immediately the go from Warlock. Doesn't even want to sacrifice the tier 1 up on top, so Darkseer's going to be forced just to surge himself back, and both teams playing extremely cautiously right now. Is there still that smoke up on Stansfield? There is. So there is probably a potential kill, maybe turn that into a tower as well. The Void's going to go on Frosty, but Synderen in the end going to decide to back off there. And has some big damage from this Empower as well. It's only a rank 2 Empower, however, so there's still even more damage to be picked up there. They've got a gem up as well, so MTW really looking to claim map control, but Fortification going to pop on the tier 1 on mid. They do have that rank 2 Eclipse. Synderen going to pop off the BKB, but he's already taking a lot of right-click damage. Willing to use the Aegis already, but the in comes Reverse Polarity doing so much. The Thunderdome down as well. Luna's going to be able to walk out, pop off the Eclipse with her dying breath, but it's going to be a triple kill there for Synderen. Just way too much damage. Great Reverse Polarity from Warlock, and Magnus really showing off why he is just so strong right now. Darkseer not anywhere near that fight. Looks like he might try and pick up the tier 1 up on top, but the tier 2 on mid going to be taking a fall, and it might be the tier 3 as well. There is no Roshan or anything for MTW to be backing off, so backing off to. There's not really any buybacks on the Radiant side either, so they're not going to be forcing out anything there. It's just going to be the 3 supports trying to defend. Tier 3 already dropping extremely low. Fortification now to pop. They need to buy at least 10 more seconds, but the blink through and the skewer going to be able to pick off Stansfield there. And MTW continuing to push. Yobi just spamming out the Shadow Poison, trying to buy as much time as they can, but MTW should be a Rax, absolute no problem. They don't have the Eclipse to defend. In comes the TA, gonna get the trap off just for the slow, but the melee barracks has already fallen, and MTW happy to back off right now. There's tier 2s up in both of the other lanes, so they can't try and cycle over to another Rax. So Machem gonna just pop down the ward. It looks like the tier 2 on top is gonna be their next target with this ward back behind the tower, and MTW finds to back off. Maybe Warlock going to be picked off, but again, he's got 2,400 units worth of movement between the skewer and the blink. Slowed down now. Actually going to have that blink cancel. Does have the skewer still. Going to be vacuumed back. Doesn't have the reverse polarity. He's going to be able to grab onto L1, who's dragged a long way into enemy territory. Is going to be killed off. The wall drops as well. Kinetic field down. Gale going to pop off the BKB, but it's already 2 dead. MTW, everyone's still alive. Synderen popping out the BKB. Yobi now the next target. And the glimpse backwards onto the Luna. She's going to be killed off. It's an ultra kill for Tulex. Way too much damage. Frosty going to TP in, but it's too late for the Darkseer. He popped back, TP'd, and it's going to be a rampage for Tulex. So 6 kills going the way of MTW there, even without the reverse polarity available. Just team fighting it perfectly and skewering back the TA. HWA forced to engage down a man as well. So I think that might just be the GG. It should be the tier 3 picked up at the very least. And again, not really any buybacks for the Radiant squad right now. No buybacks at all, in fact. So need to wait a very long time to get the Luna and the Darkseer back. They've got the Eclipse up in just a few seconds. The wall was used, though it is a reasonably low cooldown. They're slow onto MTW, but they're already just wailing away on the melee racks. Looks like they might be able to pick up the ranged as well. Warlock looking for that charge. Not going to connect it that time. Defensive disruption onto Yobi. Just trying to right click away. Gets the soul catcher down, but he's going to be nuked. And the kinetic field just keeping everyone in place. L1 going to eat the venomous gale, so it's going to be another 2 kills going the way of MTW. And HWA are going to be calling the GG there. So MTW just a little bit better on almost every single maneuver. HWA playing fantastically. They found all those pickoffs on Tulex up on top, but in the end, teamfight execution maybe a little bit better from them. And they did have the Magnus, they did have that reverse polarity, and it did turn a couple of teamfights into absolutely no contests. So in the end, MTW going to walk away with the win. Not the most unexpected outcome, but fun to see them play. All the same, again, this is a reasonably new squad for them, as sort of put together by Synderen after the old MTW disbanded. And so anyway, this has been the Defense 3. I encourage you to buy the ticket. I know it's $10 and you do get the courier, but support the event. It's good for the game. It's good for Join Dota and all that. And I'm not affiliated. It's just because I do enjoy watching these games, and the more tournaments, the better. So I've been Basecape. This is HWA up against MTW. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you again, maybe for some future broadcasts. Thanks everyone.